Greetings and salutations to one and all. Welcome to another Tuesday night right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Healthy Love Night. Want to welcome each and everyone locked in. Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Healthy Love Night on kevinstew.com and affiliate stations. Kicking it off with Touche. It's called Best Life. I'm living my best life. What about you? Want to say greetings and salutation once again to everybody locked in. Those on TuneIn Radio, the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Across the pond, One Harmony Radio, top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. Those on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Welcome. You can catch Clinton 12 to 3 Eastern Time on the Foundation Radio Network. Monday through Friday. Big ups to those on WGLRO, home of the Donny Walker Morning Show. Taking it from the sheets to the streets. Touching from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. It's the People Station. Donny is on from 6 to 10 Eastern. And let me tell you, the last 2 mornings, this morning and yesterday, Donny really brought it. Shedding some light on what's going on at the Army bases, especially in Texas. Fort Hood on blast. I want to say big ups to those on PEMG TV. And now, of course, right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. Glad to have you. I couldn't do it without you, and you have my word, I wouldn't even try. Want to say big ups to my sponsor of this segment, Paul C Media Group, and being in a moment is priceless. Give them a call. 754-999-6020. And they can do everything you see right here on kevinstew.com and so much more. Host your website, create your website, provide streaming services on your website. In fact, if you have an event and you want to stream it live, they can do that for you. Give them a call, 754-999-6020. Or visit them at paulcmg.com. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Once again, it's the sound of Tushi. It's called Best Life. Big ups to those on Facebook Live. Remember, it's only a segment that you get right here. So go ahead and get your spot on kevinstew.com. Get comfortable. Jump into the stew pot. Others call it a chat room, but we're fancy over here. We call it the stew pot. It's where we keep things bubbling and interactive. So tonight, we're getting caught up in the net. Which net? You know, it's healthy love. So what net can Stu be really talking about? Well, it is Neuroendocrine Tumors net. And I want to be honest with you. It wasn't until very recently that I became familiar with net, with neuroendocrine tumors. And it kind of shook me a little bit, because I really thought at this point I have at least heard of just about every kind of cancer or every kind of tumor that there is. This one was new to me. And I'll say the newest type of cancer to me before this was multiple myeloma. And I learned of that because my mother had it. And back when my mother had it, some 11 years ago, when she was initially diagnosed with it, basically she was told people lived on average 7 to 8 years with multiple myeloma. My mother did 15. Right? So, and then when she checked out, she's like, all right, I'm done with this body. Science, you can have it. And the University of West Indies Hospital, Mona, she donated her body to them so that they can study and learn something about multiple myeloma, which they did. Their knowledge on the cancer has grown leaps and bounds. So I first learned, that was the last cancer that I can think of off the top of my head that I learned about. And my mother transitioned Valentine's Day 11 years ago. The same year my younger son was born. So, hey Hope, welcome. So that was just about the last or the newest type of cancer that I heard about. Now, here I am this week and talking to a friend of mine, and she mentions NET. And I'm like, oh, what is this? So, knowing me, I took to doing some research. And I found some things, and I thought, hey, it's Healthy Love Night. So let's go ahead and share the information. So, what are neuroendocrine tumors? They are cancers that begin in specialized cells called neuroendocrine cells. And these cells have traits similar to those of nerve cells and hormone-producing cells. neuroendocrine tumors are rare, like multiple myeloma was back in the day, and that's a type of blood cancer. So neuroendocrine tumors are rare and can occur anywhere in the body. Most neuroendocrine tumors occur in the lungs, appendix, small intestine, rectum, and pancreas. There are many types of neuroendocrine tumors. Some grow slowly, some grow very quickly. Some neuroendocrine tumors produce excess hormones. Those are functional NETs. I'm going to abbreviate every now and then. When you hear me talk about NETs, it's neuroendocrine tumors, okay? Others don't release hormones or don't release enough to cause symptoms. Those are non-functional NETs. Diagnoses and treatment of neuroendocrine tumors depend on the type of tumor. The type of tumor, it depends on its location, whether it produces excess hormones, how aggressive it is, and whether it has spread to other parts of the body. So, what types are there? Well, you have adrenal cancers, you have carcinoid tumors, you have Merkel cell carcinoma, you have pancreatic neuroendocrine tumors. Now for the tongue biters. And those of you who read my post earlier today, you'd have seen these. They're paraganglioma. That one is pretty easy. Then you have pheochromocytoma. Yeah. The tongue biters. But these are some types of neuroendocrine tumors. Now, neuroendocrine tumors don't always cause signs and symptoms at first. The symptom you might experience depend on the location of your tumor and whether it produces excess hormones. In general, neuroendocrine tumor signs and symptoms might include pain from a growing tumor, a growing lump you can feel under the skin, feeling unusually tired. Well, that one I pretty much get sometimes when I clock in for work. I don't know, don't you? Sometimes. So there's feeling unusually tired. There is losing weight without trying. Some people wish they could lose weight without trying. Then you have neuroendocrine tumors that produce excess hormones, your functional tumors. And those might cause skin flushing, diarrhea, frequent urination, increased thirst, dizziness, shakiness, and skin rashes. So, let's say you experience some of these things. When then do you make an appointment to see a doctor? Well, you do it when you have any persistent signs and symptoms that actually worry you. You should really be seeing your doctor fairly regularly anyway. But yeah, when you start seeing some of these signs and some of these symptoms, and they're there for a prolonged time, then, doc, talk to me. What's going on here? What kind of tests do we need to take at this point? And we're going to be looking at some of those things as the show progresses. If you have questions and comments, I do encourage you to share them. I may not have the answers for you because, again, I'm presenting some information to you. And I this bit of information I retrieved from the Mayo Clinic. So you can do some of your own research as I did. I'm just sharing a little bit of it that I came across to you. I came across with today to you. Um, so those of you watching, you see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. Yeah. Number to call, number to text, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. I just had a brainless moment. Yeah, my train of thought derailed and it just went somewhere. It derailed off this high bridge, so it just disappeared into the abyss. But I got it back. So, what causes these neuroendocrine tumors? Well, the exact cause is unknown. These cancers begin in neuroendocrine cells that have traits similar to those of nerve cells and hormone-producing cells. Neuroendocrine cells are found throughout the body. Neuroendocrine tumors begin when neuroendocrine cells develop changes or mutations in their DNA. The DNA inside the cell contains the instructions that tell the cells what to do. The changes tell the neuroendocrine cells to multiply rapidly and form a tumor. And basically, that's how tumors work, right? That's how cancer works. Some neuroendocrine tumors grow very slowly, others are aggressive cancers that invade and destroy normal body tissue or spread or metastasize to other parts of the body. So then you have to really ask the question, if this is going on, who's at risk? Well, the risk of NETs is higher in people who inherit genetic syndromes that increase the risk of cancer. So in men, examples include multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1 and also type 2. And you have von Hippel-Lindau disease. Ever heard of that? Well, you're not alone. Then you have tuberous sclerosis. And you have neurofibromatosis. These, if diagnosed in your family line, then you're at risk. But do take into consideration the fact that it is unknown where this cancer comes from. What causes it? Really and truly, it's just unknown. People don't know. So the search continues. The quest goes on. The quest for answers. And rightly so. One of the terms that I heard as it refers to NETs is individuals who have neuroendocrine tumors. They're called zebras. No, I heard that, and I said to my friend, I'm confused. Is it that you guys end up with stripes? Why zebras? And this was by text. So I'm pretty sure on the other end, she was just probably cracking up and saying, "This fool." But anybody that knows me knows that Kevin and fool probably is synonymous. She said because no two individuals exhibit the same characteristics when they have neuroendocrine tumors. And I was kind of blown away at first. But then I thought about it. And if every individual on this planet can have a different fingerprint, then every individual on this planet that has neuroendocrine tumors can exhibit different symptoms and different characteristics of the cancer. So I was kind of calmed. But how is it detected? Tests and procedures you might undergo to diagnose a neuroendocrine tumor will depend on where your tumor is located in your body. In general, tests might include a physical exam, where your doctor might examine your body to better understand your signs and symptoms. They may feel for swollen lymph nodes or look for signs that a tumor is producing excess hormones. There are tests to look for excess hormones, where your doctor may recommend testing your blood or your urine for signs of excess hormones that are sometimes produced by neuroendocrine tumors. You might undergo imaging tests like ultrasound and CT scans and MRIs, and they do this to create a picture of your tumor. Now, for neuroendocrine tumors, pictures are sometimes created using positron emission tomography. And this is abbreviated as PET. So you talk about your PET scans? Yeah. And this is done with a radioactive tracer that is injected into the vein. And so inject the tracer, it doesn't just go all over the body at that very moment. It takes time for it to get to where it needs to get to. And if my friend was listening, it would be great if she could call in and say what it is that they did. Or if you know anybody that has done any of these tests, if you know anybody that has done a PET scan, it's a big. I'd love to hear from them for them to say what the procedure is like. What it is that they went through and the time frame, preparation, and doing the exam, and after the exam. It would be good to hear from someone that actually had the experience. Then there is also a biopsy. To collect cells, the doctor might insert a long, thin tube with a light and a camera at the end into your lungs, where that would be a bronchoscopy, or your esophagus, an endoscopy, or your rectum, a colonoscopy. No, not a rectumoscopy, a colonoscopy. And depending on your situation, sometimes collecting a tissue sample requires surgery. So it isn't always as easy as one of those oscopy tests. But never fear, that surgery is pretty much an outpatient surgery. It's not major surgery. Now, some of the treatments would also vary. You have options. Will depend on the type of tumor. It will depend on its location, whether you're experiencing signs and symptoms of excess hormones produced by the tumor. All these things play a role in determining how you get treated. In general, NETs are treated. The treatments might include surgery, and this is to remove the tumor. Now, when possible, surgeons work to remove the entire tumor and some of the healthy tissue that surrounds it. If the tumor can't be completely removed, it might help to remove as much as possible. Then there's chemotherapy, which uses strong drugs to kill tumor cells. The problem with chemotherapy is that it doesn't just kill tumor cells, it kills all cells. It can be given through a vein in your arm or taken as a pill. My mother used to take it as pills, and then occasionally go in and get chemo inside the lab. Chemotherapy might be recommended if there's a risk that your neuroendocrine tumor might recur after surgery. And it might also be used for advanced tumors that cannot be removed with surgery. Then there is targeted drug therapy. And these treatments focus on specific abnormalities that are present within tumor cells. By blocking these abnormalities, targeted drug treatments can cause tumor cells to die. Targeted drug therapy is usually combined with chemotherapy for advanced neuroendocrine tumors. There is PRRT, which is peptide receptor radionuclide therapy. And this combines a drug that targets cancer cells with a small amount of radioactive substance. It allows radiation to be delivered directly to the cancer cells. One PRRT drug, lutetium Lu-177 dotatate, or Lutathera. I prefer the Lutathera. It's less words. This drug is used to treat advanced neuroendocrine tumors. If your neuroendocrine tumor releases hormones, your doctor might recommend medications to control your signs and symptoms. And then there's also radiation therapy, which uses powerful energy beams such as X-rays and protons to kill tumor cells. Some types of neuroendocrine tumors may respond to radiation therapy. It might be recommended if surgery is not an option. Other treatments might be available to you depending on your particular situation and your specific type of neuroendocrine tumor. So these aren't just all of them. Okay? Okay. So we're going to take a quick little break. Sorry about that. Just got a message on another device over here. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to say goodbye to those on Facebook Live. Come on over and jump into the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com. Remember, the Stew Pot is just what others call a chat room, and because we're fancy over here, it is the Stew Pot. So come on in. It's where we keep things interactive, and it's a judgment-free zone. If you can call, if you can text, if you can WhatsApp, use 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. And you can also Skype. Kevin.stew is my Skype handle. You can email djkevinstew@gmail.com. But guess what? Go to kevinstew.com and boom, you have everything at your disposal. All my information is there. You can even contact me through the contact me box at the bottom of the page. And while you're down there, check out some of the videos that you may have missed, some of the shows you may have missed in the video archive. Alright, so we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's Healthy Love right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. And it kind of sounds like I almost forgot my name, right? We're talking about neuroendocrine tumors tonight, NETs. So call somebody. You never know who might need to hear this information. But there's always at least one person that this information can do good. We'll be right back.
Quality Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. a new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
I'm Khalib Thompson.
And I'm David Muir.
And we are the co-founders of a cultural nonprofit in Florida called Island Space.
For many reasons, now more than ever, we need the support of our communities.
As Caribbean Americans, we have the unique ability to claim everyone from the island as members of our Caribbean American family.
We are working to create a home for that family.
The Island Archives will become an internationally recognized museum of history.
Visitors can learn that although we are unique, we are truly stronger together.
Learn more at islandspacefl.org.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This nonprofit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is working to help keep you and your community safe from the threat of novel or new coronavirus. Take the following everyday steps to help avoid the spread of all respiratory viruses. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away and then wash your hands. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects or surfaces, such as remote controls and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And stay home if you are sick. Call your healthcare provider if you develop fever, cough, or difficulty breathing. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
Hey yo, this is Caramanti letting you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
everything will be okay.
Look how many storms you've already been through.
Not one of them
ever conquered you.
Some battles you fight on your knees, then you cut and go through. Cut and go through. Cause just by my side, yeah. I won't be afraid, no, of the terror that crawleth by night, nor the arrow by day. Cause just by my side, cause just by my side, I won't be afraid, no, of the terror that crawleth by night, nor the arrow by day. With Jaya by my side, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. Alright. Yeah. With Jaya by my side, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. Alright. 'Cause it's a serious time we are living in. Can't trust no one, can't fool again.
Can't let the world bring us to our knees with fear and uncertainty.
We have to know which by our side. We will overcome, we will survive. No kind of obstacles, no kind of barrier. We are gonna be alright. Cause Jah is by my side. Jah is by my side. I won't be afraid. I won't be
The sound of SDS,
the terror that crawleth by
a track called Jah Is By My Side.
yeah.
I want to welcome you back to the broadcast.
Jah is by my side. I won't be afraid.
Hey cuz, how you doing?
Of the terror that crawleth by night, nor the arrow by day.
Staying dry.
Can conquer
Nothing can conquer
Nothing can conquer
Oh no.
Nothing can conquer I'm in the fire and
Were you affected by the flash floods?
nothing can conquer Nothing can conquer
Do say a prayer for those in Jamaica, experiencing some flooding and flash flooding as a result of Tropical Storm Laura.
Jah is by my side. Jah is by my side. I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. Of
Want to say thanks to my segment sponsor,
night, nor the arrow by day.
Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands.
Jah is by my side. Jah is by my side. I won't be
Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist that comes to you operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties.
afraid.
Let's give her a call.
Can conquer
She brings her table, she brings her oils,
nothing can conquer.
and she's COVID free,
Nothing can conquer
and she would like to remain that way.
the most
So don't call her if you are positive, or even suspect that you could have been around someone who was positive. Don't call her.
in the fire. I trust the most high. 'Cause Jah is by my side.
Otherwise, you can give her a call. 954 655 9000. That's 954 655 9000. And you can email her also
Won't be afraid.
at thealater@att.net.
They crawl it by night, nor the arrow by day. Yeah, with Jah by my side. I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid of the terror that crawl it by night, nor the arrow.
If you're just joining in, it's a thing we call Healthy Love. It happens every Tuesday right here from 10 to midnight on kevinstew.com and affiliate stations all over the globe. Oh good, no flooding in your area. I saw a video today, I'm not even sure where that video was. Streets flooded.
Nothing can conquer. I'm in the fire. I trust the Most High. 'Cause Jah is by my side. Yeah, I won't be afraid.
I got a message that people couldn't hear on Facebook. Well, oh well. These things happen from time to time. Why? I don't even know. Gremlins. I'll check it later on and see. But what I'll do is upload a segment. I guess, the equivalent of the segment that those got on Facebook Live. I'll go ahead and upload that with sound for you guys a little bit later on. Outside of that, kevinstew.com, that's why it's there. And you can just go to the archives and watch the whole show. Why would you want just a segment when you can get the whole thing? Think about it. Alright, so we're looking at neuroendocrine tumors tonight. And again, numbers to call, numbers to text, 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. As we go through the duration of the show, you can contact me, and of course, the stew pot is available. Jump on in. The water is always fine. It's where we keep things bubbling and interactive. kevinstew.com. Maybe it was Marcus Garvey Drive. It could have been. And Pigley Park Road. Yeah, Queen's English. But yeah, Hagley Park Road. Pigley Park. All right, so we mentioned at the beginning of the show some types of tumors, and we can look a little bit deeper into some types, some of those types. There are carcinoid tumors that fall under the umbrella of neuroendocrine tumors. And these are a type of slow-growing cancer that can arise in several places throughout the body. Carcinoid tumors, which are one subset of tumors called neuroendocrine tumors, usually begin in the digestive tract. So it is either in the stomach, the appendix, the small intestine, the colon, the rectum, that fall under areas of the digestive tract. Or they could start in the lungs. Either places can't be too much fun. Carcinoid tumors often don't cause signs and symptoms until late in the disease. They can produce and release hormones into your body that cause signs and symptoms such as diarrhea or skin flushing. Treatment for carcinoid tumors usually include surgery and may include medications. And we went through some of the treatments for general treatments for NETs. Some of the symptoms. In some cases, carcinoid tumors don't cause any symptoms. When they do, signs and symptoms are usually vague and depend on the location of the tumor. If the tumors are located in the lungs, some of the signs and symptoms could include chest pain, wheezing, shortness of breath, diarrhea, which is kind of interesting if it's in the lungs, how you end up with diarrhea. It's kind of two opposite ends. But there's redness or a feeling of warmth in your face and neck, which is skin flushing. There's weight gain, particularly around the midsection and upper back. Pink or purple marks on the skin that look like stretch marks can also occur. If the tumors are in the digestive tract, you could end up with abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and inability to pass stool due to intestinal blockage or obstructions. There could be rectal bleeding and rectal pain, redness or feeling of warmth in your face and neck. So the skin flushing, whether it is in the digestive tract or in the lungs. Some of the commonalities include diarrhea and skin flushing. If you experience any of these signs and symptoms that bother you on a persistent basis, again, make an appointment to see your doctor. Another thing that that should be taken into consideration, it is not clear what causes these tumors. Remember that. Now, some risk factors. Older age is one of the factors, and older adults are more likely to be diagnosed with a carcinoid tumor than younger people or even children. Women are also more likely than men to develop carcinoid tumors. A family history of multiple endocrine neoplasia, type 1 or type 1, increases the risk of carcinoid tumors. And in people with multiple endocrine neoplasia, multiple tumors occur in glands of the endocrine system. So look out for those too. The cells of carcinoid tumors can secrete hormones and other chemicals, causing a range of complications. And this is where things can get tricky. Carcinoid syndrome causes redness or a feeling of warmth in your face, the skin flushing, chronic diarrhea, difficulty breathing, and other signs. Then there's a possibility of carcinoid heart disease, where the tumors may secrete hormones that can cause thickening of the lining of the heart chambers, the valves and blood vessels. This can lead to leaky heart valves and heart failure that may require valve replacement surgery. Carcinoid heart disease can usually be controlled with medication. And then there's Cushing syndrome. A lung carcinoid tumor can produce an excess of hormone that can cause your body to produce too much hormone, too much of the hormone cortisol. That now can cause Cushing syndrome. So how do you diagnose those? Well, if you have a carcinoid tumor, your blood may contain high levels of hormone secreted by a carcinoid tumor, or byproducts created when those hormones are broken down by the body. People with these tumors have excess levels of a chemical in their urine that is produced when the body breaks down hormones secreted by carcinoid tumors. Imaging tests, including CTs, computerized tomography, whichever way, potato. CT scans, magnetic resonance imaging, MRIs, or PET scans, octreotide scans, and X-rays may help doctors pinpoint the carcinoid tumor's location also. Your doctor may use a long, thin tube equipped with a lens or a camera to examine areas inside your body. That's the oscopy scans. So an endoscopy, which involves passing a scope down your throat, may help doctors to see inside your gastrointestinal tract. Which, any of these endoscopy tests are quite fascinating. I don't know if anybody else finds them fascinating like me, but it's quite interesting to see this little tube go into your throat, go down your throat into your stomach, or into your lungs, as in the case of a bronchoscopy. It is passed down your throat into your lungs, and these can help to find these tumors. Or the colonoscopy, which can help to diagnose rectal carcinoid tumors. To see inside your small intestine, your doctor may recommend a test using a pill-sized camera. That one you swallow, which is capsule endoscopy. Is the camera still running when you pass that camera? Is that a short range frequency? We understand how it goes in, but everything that goes in supposed to come out. So if it goes into your by way of your digestion, by way of digestion, in through your mouth, down into your gut, it should pass out your butt, right? So, is the camera still running after the test? And what kind of range does this camera have? I digress. A sample of tissue from the tumor by way of a biopsy may be collected to confirm your diagnosis. And what type of biopsy you'll undergo depends on where your tumor is located. In some cases, a surgeon may use a needle to draw cells out of the tumor. In other cases, a biopsy may be collected during surgery. The tissue is sent to a lab for testing to determine the types of cells in the tumor and how aggressive those cells appear under the microscope. So that's your diagnoses, and how do you treat them? Well, it depends on the tumor's location, once again. And this is pretty much the common thing, the common thread with most of these tumors. It depends on the location. Surgery depends on the type of cancer. The medication that you get also depends on the type. Now, understand that carcinoid tumors commonly spread to the liver. They metastasize. And option for treatment of those may include surgery to remove a part of the liver, which may control signs and symptoms caused by liver tumors. Stopping blood supply to liver tumors in a procedure called hepatic artery embolization, where a doctor clogs the liver's main artery, which is the hepatic artery, by cutting off the blood supply to cancer cells that have spread to the liver. Now, healthy liver cells thrive by relying on blood from other blood vessels. There is radiofrequency ablation, which delivers heat treatments that cause carcinoid tumor cells in the liver to die. Then you have cryoablation or cryoablation, which does the opposite. It uses cycles of freezing and thawing to kill cancer cells. So those are some options for your treatment of carcinoid tumors. Well, specifically the ones that have spread to the liver. Now, your paraganglioma is a rare tumor that begins in certain nerve cells that are dispersed throughout the body, which is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's the para part. Now, this tumor can affect people of any age, but most often shows up between the ages of 30 and 50. The tumor is often slow growing and non-cancerous. It's benign. But it can invade nearby parts of the body and become malignant. At that point, now, they can also spread distantly. So they can metastasize. With about half of paraganglioma tumors, the abnormal cells produce hormones known as catecholamines, spelled CATECHO LAMINES, or adrenaline, which is of course, the fight or flight hormone, adrenaline. Now, this may induce high blood pressure, rapid heartbeat, again, flushed skin, sweating, headaches, and tremors. Surgery to remove the tumor is usually the first treatment. And, well, that is if it is feasible. But that is generally the first treatment choice. Now, if left untreated, a paraganglioma can result in severe or life-threatening damage and progress to the point where surgical treatment is not an option. In people who are cancerous, with the cancerous and metastatic paraganglioma, medicine and other treatments can help control the disease and symptoms and even extend survival. Not necessarily cure it. Now, if your primary doctor thinks you may have paraganglioma, they may refer you to an expert in cancer, which is typically an oncologist. Now, this expert in conditions of the endocrine symptoms may also be included in the mix, which is an endocrinologist. Or you just might end up with a surgeon. For this, you may need several tests. You may need to be asked to collect urine every time you urinate during a 24-hour period. So that's a 24-hour urine test. And this will be used to assess hormone excretion into the urine. You'll be given written instructions on how to store the urine, label, and return the samples. You may have blood drawn for lab testing, including an assessment of hormone levels. Talk to your doctor about special preparation, such as fasting or skipping a medication. But do not skip a dose without specific instructions from your doctor. Your doctor may order one or more imaging tests to be done as accurately as possible. To define as accurately as possible the location of the tumor. And these studies may include an MRI, a CT scan, specialized nuclear medicine imaging such as a PET scan. Then there may be genetic testing, because sometimes paragangliomas run in families. Your doctor may have your blood tested for this. And if an altered gene is detected, then your doctor may recommend that you see a genetic counselor. Now, do note, we're going to take a quick little break in just a moment. Do note that examining tumor tissue under a microscope cannot, with certainty, determine whether a tumor is cancerous. People with paragangliomas need care by an experienced, multidisciplinary team. Ask your doctor if they regularly treat people with this condition, as most doctors rarely, if ever, encounter paragangliomas and are unfamiliar with the best approaches to diagnosing and treating this rare tumor. Under such conditions, it's important to seek a second opinion from a team that specializes in the care of people with rare neuroendocrine tumors, such as paragangliomas. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to look at some treatments of paragangliomas. And then we're going to look at, to wrap up the night, we're going to look at the kind of diet that you should have if you have one of these types of cancers. If you have a neuroendocrine tumor, what do you eat? Because don't get it twisted. What you eat also plays a role in how some of these cancers function. So bear that in mind. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
This is Gia Yee, and you're listening to The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
Every nurse, every doctor, every soldier, every essential worker, we salute you. Shout out to the K-Plus heroes out there. Just know we appreciate you. Oh yeah, reaching out to the unsung.
you back to the show. Bigging up all the K-Plus heroes, courtesy of James EP. I want to say thanks to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment, for sponsoring this particular segment of the show. Reggae Global will be your booking agents, take care of your tour management, your legal contracts, your legal contracts, your copyrights, your publishing, your trademarks, your business registrations, your music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. 954-99-88034 gets you in touch with them. Or you can check them out at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. So real quickly, we're gonna look at treatment as it relates to paraganglioma. Now, it depends on where the abnormal growth is located and whether it is cancerous or not. A paraganglioma is considered cancerous or malignant if it spreads to other parts of the body or if it metastasizes. Now, this is a rare occurrence in paragangliomas. Cells from a malignant paraganglioma can migrate to lymph nodes, to bones, liver, lungs, or elsewhere. In people with this type of paraganglioma, it is critical to treat any elevated hormone levels and other signs and symptoms. Your treatments may include medications. So your doctor will first attempt to control symptoms caused by your paraganglioma, such as high blood pressure. And if you have the type of paraganglioma that produces hormones, drugs that usually help people with this condition include alpha blockers and beta blockers. In people with hormone-producing paragangliomas, it is critical to control blood pressure before surgery or other therapy. Surgery to remove the tumor is generally the first choice for treatment if feasible. Even if the tumor has spread, surgery is often used to reduce its size. If paraganglioma tissue that produces hormones is distributed, as happens during surgery, hormones in the tumor can be released and cause serious problems such as elevated blood pressure and pulse. To prevent that, your doctor will have you prepare for surgery by taking medication to block the hormones effects for 7 to 14 days before the surgery. You may also be asked to record your blood pressure multiple times a day, to follow a high sodium diet, and to report your blood pressure results to a medical team. It's interesting that you're being asked to follow a high sodium diet. Paraganglioma surgery is done under general anesthesia. It means you're out. You don't know what is happening. You are just put under, and your life is in the hands of those that are around you. It is important that specialized surgeons and anesthesiologists are involved. You will likely need to stay in hospital for several days after the surgery. Even after successful removal of the tumor during surgery, tumors may recur. So you'll need to visit your doctor regularly to follow up appointments. Radiation therapy is sometimes used to help control tumor growth and improve your symptoms if other options such as surgery are not advisable. If the tumor is in the head or near vital nerves or blood vessels, a technique called stereotactic body radiation therapy may be used to limit damage to nearby healthy tissue. Under some circumstances, specialized intravenous radiologists may destroy tumor deposits with an approach called thermal ablation therapy. You may be eligible for a clinical trial testing an experimental treatment. If the tumor is slow growing, your doctor may monitor your condition during regular follow-up appointments, even if you're not undergoing therapy. These, though, are some of the approaches that make me wonder what it is that, if the key here is to get rid of the cancer or the tumor, or to fatten the pockets while you're treating the symptoms. Because if you're paying attention, it is mentioned the treatment of the symptom before taking action to remove the cause. And those are some of the things that concern me. A lot of these approaches involve treatment of the symptoms. I want treatment of the cause. And to be told, well, we can't be too sure of what is causing the symptom, so let's treat the symptom and see what shows up. If something is identified, like a tumor, and the symptoms then exist, the tumor wasn't there before, the tumor is there now. The symptoms weren't there before, the symptom is there now. If the tumor doesn't belong there, what does it hurt to remove the tumor? Right. I'm pretty sure somebody is with me on this. But again, I'm no DR, I'm a DJ. So it's worth questioning your doctors about. And I do believe in questioning doctors. And if you have a doctor that takes the position that you shouldn't question what I am saying or what I am doing, I recommend you find a new doctor. Because, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons it's called a practice. Because none of them have it right. Well, that and the fact that the human body is constantly changing. And just like fingerprints, no two people are alike. Not like that. Not exactly. So, if you have neuroendocrine tumors, what do you eat? What should your diet look like? Now, understand, diet is important for those with neuroendocrine tumors. 58% of NET patients say they had to make dietary changes as a result of their disease. As a rule of thumb, choose foods and drinks that are gentle on your digestive system. So, what should you avoid eating? To reduce the frequency and severity of gastrointestinal symptoms, try to reduce or cut out altogether irritating foods. If you are experiencing digestive problems, avoid eating foods that are high fiber, specifically insoluble fiber, high amine, high fat, high sugar, high salt, high heat, or spices. high alcohol content, high in caffeine, highly carbonated beverages, and highly processed foods. Stay away from them. Which is interesting that it is recommended that you have a high sodium diet with paragangliomas prior to certain treatments, when you're told to avoid high salt content in your foods if you have NET. So again, this is where you ask questions and you ask them constantly. Ask questions without ceasing. That's my rule of thumb. Talk to your doctor about your diet, and maybe even ask for a referral to see a registered dietitian who is well versed in nutrition for NET patients. Now, when and how to eat, you can also help to manage symptoms. Minor adjustments in when and how you eat can help to alleviate diarrhea for those with NETs. Eat small portions frequently. That's recommended for anybody who is dieting anyway. But I kind of adopt that philosophy myself. It's difficult to do when you work a certain type of way, as in your 9 to 5, when you operate a certain type of way in your 9 to 5. But it's a change of a mindset, which you might remember me doing a show on taking breaks. Well, changing how you eat ties into how you work and taking breaks, because if you're going to eat smaller portions more frequently, you have your breakfast, you have your lunch, you have your dinner. But while you're at work, if you take a break and you snack, then that can help to in the fight against certain conditions, like with NETs. So eat small, frequent meals. Don't drink while you're eating. Funny enough, this is something that I used to do a lot as a child, and I somehow managed to grow out of it. I will now eat a meal and not drink while I'm eating. And sometimes have to remember sometime after to come to drink some water. But they do recommend drinking 30 to 45 minutes before your meal. Consume 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses of fluid a day. Spread fluid out during the day during taking regular sips of water. When you have diarrhea, drink no more than 4 ounces at a time. But you want to, on a regular, try to get in 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses throughout the day. Freeze food items right away. Dispose of aged, expired items. Throw out leftovers after 48 hours. Pay close attention to food safety to avoid foodborne illnesses. So, you do want to also, listen, it's not just people with these conditions that should take those tips. Try to incorporate those tips in your regular healthy life, so you won't end up getting sick and have to make major adjustments. Work with your doctor, dietitian, and treatment team on a personalized nutritional plan to support your health. Your medical history and any co-occurring conditions will drive your daily food choices. Some of the food choices others have found helpful are fruits and vegetables. What you should have in that department: peeled cooked vegetables, potatoes, squash, carrots, parsnips, zucchini, summer squash, turnips. What you should avoid: tomato and tomato products. Your cooked vegetables: asparagus, string beans, peas, shallots, onions, green onions, red bell peppers. Stay away from corn, cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. It's interesting that you should stay away from those things, and those are some of the better vegetables to have. But when you have neuroendocrine tumors, things get kind of twisted. Do have raw vegetables, your leafy greens, your celery with ribbing peeled, cucumbers, preferably peeled and seedless. Stay away from raw onions and pickled vegetables. With your fruits, your peeled fruits, apples, pears, peaches, nectarines, mangoes, papayas. Those you should have or can have, but stay away from dried fruits and your canned fruits in heavy syrup. Generally, you want to stay away from canned fruit in heavy syrup anyway. Do have blueberries, strawberries, grapes, cantaloupes, or honeydew melons. Avoid pineapples, overripe bananas, and watermelons. For your grains, you should incorporate oatmeal, white rice, white bread, quinoa. Which is interesting because the white bread and the white rice tend to be on the more unhealthy side. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Try to stay away from wheat, dried beans, being red beans, black beans, and pinto beans. For your dairy, you want to have lactose-free, if lactose intolerant, milk. Rice or almond milk is well, that's what you want to have. You want to have your lactose-free milk, your rice milk, your almond milk, your low-fat milk. Stay away from aged cheese. For your protein, you want to include skinless chicken, fresh fish and seafood, eggs, egg substitutes, and lean meats. Egg substitutes? I don't know why you want to do egg substitutes. But stick with the eggs. Preferably free range, if you can get it. Stay away from your processed or your luncheon meats. Stay away from bacon, fatty fish. Fatty fish as in salmon? What kind of fatty fish? They didn't specify. Avoid smoked meats. For your fats and oils, they recommend unsaturated fats, your canola, your safflower, your sunflower. Stay away from saturated fats, your butter, your shortening, your coconut oil. Stay away from fried foods, chips, pastries, avocado. Avocado? You're to stay away from avocado? Avocado is one of the best things for you. But it's recommended that if you have neuroendocrine tumors, that you stay away from it. No pastries. Stay away from the pastries. Well, of course we can figure out why that is, because now you take into consideration the sugar. And as with most cancers, the sugar thing That is a no-no. For your beverages, recommendations include water, flavored water. I'm not too big on the flavored water because it's not natural. If you're going to flavor your water with something that is recommended that you can have, something like lemons, it's not said that you can't have lemons. It's not said that you flavor your water with some lemon, and you should be good to go. But the purchased flavored water, I'm not big on that at all. They say you could have diluted sports drinks and diluted fruit drinks. Get your water, get your fruit, squeeze it in the water, or juice your fruit and dilute it. They do recommend you stay away from caffeinated beverages like coffee and tea, and alcoholic beverages and fruit juice. Now, here is where I get a little confused with the information, because there's a recommendation to have flavored water and diluted fruit drinks, and to stay away from fruit juice. The drink is usually the less healthy one. The juice is usually the more healthy one. So why would you want to stay away from the more healthy and go to the less healthy, the more artificial? The only beverage that I really am resonating with in the beverages category is water. It is the purest fluid there is. Just water. Clean, fresh water. Clean, pure water. That's I guess that's as good as it gets. But they do recommend you stay away from those alcoholic beverages and fruit juice and coffee and tea. I tell you, this neuroendocrine tumors, they're a new thing for me, and as a result, raise a different amount of questions. So there are some commonalities in there, but I guess it's a little bit different from a multiple myeloma. I saw my mother start juicing. That was the first time I saw somebody doing juicing, and she would juice her fruits and juice her vegetables, and sometimes I would get some and I'd be like, yo, this thing actually tastes good. The color is kind of weird, but this actually tastes good. And when she got her fruits and vegetables, we had to be washing the dirt off of it. It's coming up out of the ground. That was one of the benefits of living in Jamaica. You know that the stuff that you were getting was real stuff. I came to the US and I made some of the fruit. I remember making carrot juice one time. I never made carrot juice since, because there was nothing I could do to help that carrot juice. I don't know what kind of carrots those were, but they tasted nothing like the carrots that I grew up with. And I started eating carrots late. I was one that didn't eat my vegetables. I started eating vegetables late. And then when I got into vegetables, you couldn't tell me anything. So now I'm eating some of these vegetables and some of these fruits, and I'm like, yeah, no, these are not real. So now I've become a skeptic and a critic. But that's just me. For those with neuroendocrine tumors, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, and when you're done asking those questions, ask some more. Because you cannot be too informed. Plus, This is your health. This is your life that we're talking about. Not anybody else's. Yours. So, who is best to take care of it? Someone that you're paying, or you that nobody can pay you to take care of your own life? Which one? And pay attention to what you're eating, what you're drinking, how you're eating it, and when you're consuming it, how you're consuming it, and when you're consuming it. Pay attention to those things, because they too play a role in maximizing your lifespan and optimizing your health. Pay attention to these things. As we kick off our musical therapy, this is Jamie Hinkson working out of the Homebred Band, their rendition of Breakfast in Bed. As we go into the segment of musical therapy, I want to thank my segment sponsor, GMAT Music Solutions. GMAT Music Solutions provides sound, light, and stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, DJs, bands, musicians, singers. They bring your event to life. Go ahead and give them a call. 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Or check them out at gmatmusicsolutions.com. You can do your shopping there also. Thank you, Jamie Hinkson and Homebred Band. This is the sound of Liba. I really like this track. It's called Raga Soldier. Is called Raga Soldier. Artist goes by the name Liba.
Here's your friendly announcer.
This is Mr. Ed Robinson.
I have serious news to pass on to everybody.
Love's in need of love today.
What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster. Could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love in need of love today. Oh, don't delay, send yours in right away. Oh, because hate's going round, breaking many hearts. to make you its possession. And it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If peace and love you treasure, then hear me when I say that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Don't you know that hate's going round, and it's breaking hearts? Oh, we all gotta stop it. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Oh, yeah. Love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away.
It is time for us to make peace and stop the fighting. One love, one unity, got to break the bondage. No more borders around me, no more
This is China Nicole.
me. But Marley said it best, and together.
Track called Let It Be for Justice.
But if we fight, let it be for justice. And if we war, let it be for justice. At all costs, let it be for justice. Do what is right, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Inequity, disparities, and violence, oppression, racism. No, I won't be silent. No more barriers for we. We will thrive, prosperity. Marcus Garvey said it best. None but ourselves can free your minds. But if we fight, let it be for justice. And if we war, let it be for justice. At all costs, let it be for justice. Do what is right, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. 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 No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. We the people are from royalty. I wish so many of us can see. Keep the culture, be united, stop the violence. Put the power in ourselves, create the franchise. In the news last week, another bomb overseas. I'm so sick of these murders in the streets. Ooh, boy, ooh, boy, boy, boy. But if we fight, let it be for justice. And if we war, let it be for justice. At all costs, let it be for justice. Do what is right, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. 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 No matter what it costs, let it be for justice. Let it be for justice. Why not?
Ain't nothing gonna stop my side or block my vibe. Just I can go to them. I'm already made up my mind that I'm living my best life. Every day I'm on go. Every day I'm on go. 'Cause every day I'm
This is Korik.
It's a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain.
It's called Good Day.
Praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Blessings they for me.
This track is my alarm.
That shining sunlight through my window. Him say give thanks for life today. Because no one knows tomorrow. So I give thanks, no time for stressing. Every breath I breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on it. I'm not guessing. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Got no time to be hateful. There's so much to be grateful for. You might never have your plate full, but from your living and breathing, stay cheerful and give thanks and learn this lesson. Every breath we breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on things. I'm not guessing, cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day.
Love cannot be a game that has no conclusion.
This is Mr. G. Cole.
It's not just a dream that's built on illusion.
The track is called What Is Love?
It's more than
Yes, that very same G. Cole, host of Homegrown with G. Cole.
taste it and touch it, it's real. Life is when two people make it, and nothing outside they can break it. If they understand that they can't command love to be where it cannot be free.
You know, I've been thinking about it, and when Reggae Global Radio launches,
It's not just one
my goodness,
of moment of fire.
all the shows in one place. You'll have this guy, G. Cole.
That builds on desire.
You'll have Clinton Lindsay. You'll have me. You'll have Marlon. John T. Jamusa. These are people from South Florida. But it doesn't stop there. The Hugo Boss Show. Hugo Buzz Show.
This is the kind of love that we know when we share. Girl, this is the kind of love
it will be sick.
That will always be there. Yes,
as a little reminder, this coming Saturday, Record Store Day, VP Records, Ed Robinson will be live, and so will SDS, Sensational Dynamic Sound.
To be where it cannot be free. I said love to be where it cannot be free.
tease you with a little bit of this. Miss Shauna Dazzle. I haven't played this one in a while. It's called Everything. I do invite you to join me tomorrow. And we close out the night shift week with a Real Talk Wednesday, and that's when it all comes to a head. Special guest tomorrow, Professor David Livingston Smith. Yeah, you don't want to miss this. He's a philosophy professor, authored a few books. Tomorrow night we are looking at Inhuman.
Don't give up, don't give up.
Recognizing dehumanization and how to avoid it. Yeah, something you want to check out. For sure, for sure. But until then, recognize that everything will be alright. As we take this from the tippy top.
Everybody ever cross is a near farmer, so don't you ever think say you wanna. So for me tell you where I go with the next man, you're surprised here.
This is Caramanti, and I'm bouncing out here with this one.
You can rest, but no resist.
It's called Don't Give Up.
Fuck yourself in the giddy and warrior, we not. Just don't give up, don't give up. No matter where you go through, and this me want to tell you. From your win, then you must lose. Just don't give up, don't give up. From your wake and the sky blue, and you see sun a shine through. Just go and make the next move. Yo, don't give up. This your life life is a journey. Some road straight, some of them curvy. Sometimes it feel topsy-turvy. Work every day, you must get weary. I may know say it must feel scary. If you try your best and the things still shaky, you want quit and give up like Katie. Before you do that, do hear me. Don't give up, don't give up. No matter where you go through, no matter where you go through. And this me want to tell you, from your quit then you must lose. Just don't give up, don't give up. From your wake and the sky blue, and you see sun a shine through. Just go and make the next move. Yo, don't give up. Every day that the sun rises, another daylight. So just get your mind right. Yo, I don't you worry about the tough times, patchy rough times. Focus on your mind set. Cause anything that you make fun, that you are gonna get done, in case you never know what's a wait set. So just make up a life plan. Make sure your mind's strong, and every day to that you make. Just don't give up, don't give up. No matter where you go.
And on that note,
and this me want to tell you,
I wish you all
just don't give up.
a good morning, a good afternoon, a good day to you wherever you are in the world, from right here in South Florida. A good night.
Just go and make the next move.
Do not give up in whatever you are aspiring to be.
So to everybody out there who is trying to achieve their goal, who actually want to reach somewhere and better their life, I want to tell you, keep striving, keep pushing, don't give up. No matter if your friends and family not with you,
Nobody should ever give up.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.